Fortnite games up. More like Fortnite games UJJP. Oh my god. This user sucks. This user likes to say bad things about Muppet commercials and more. Which is a good user. He uses the Puppet Pals video. Which Muppet commercials and more didn't like that. I hope this user gets terminated soon. Do you know who hates this user? Muppet commercials and more. So forget Fortnite games UTTP. End of rant.
Shaun the Sheep. No, more like Shaun the Tank Engine. Oh my god, this show sucks. This show is a huge rip-off of Wallace and Gromit, my #1 favorite British show. This British TV show is about a sheep named Shaun. He likes to go on failure adventures. Shaun likes to eat Wallace's cheese 24/7. Do you know what's worse? Shaun has his own game called Shaun the Sheep Off His Head.
Shaun the Sheep Off His Head. No, more like Shaun the Sheep on His Head. This game sucks.
Thank God this show got cancelled in 2016, and thank God it got taken off the air on 2018, and thank God the franchises of Shaun the Sheep has ended. Do you know who likes this show? Hutch. Do you know who hates this show? Wallace. He wishes he's yelling at Shaun to stay off his cheese, so screw Shaun the Sheep and his game. Wallace and Gromit and Thomas and Friends are 100 times better than Shaun the Sheep. End of rant.
April 9th, more like July 11th. Oh my god, this episode of Arthur sucks. This episode of Arthur is about Binky pulling the fire alarm, and Arthur and his friends escape the school, and Arthur sees David Reed in the school area. After that, Arthur and Buster talking about the fire. When it's over, the fire drill has ended, and Arthur and his friends working in school again. Do you know who likes this episode of Arthur? Nobody. Do you know who hates this episode of Arthur? Me. I hate this episode of Arthur. So screw April 9th. And so does Arthur and the real Mr. Ratburn. Arthur makes a movie in Fern and the secret of Moose Mountain is 100,000,000,000,000 times better than April 9th. End of rant. Before I start this rant, today is the first day of winter break, and to anybody who likes this episode of Arthur, please respect my opinion as long as I respect yours. Anyways, let's go. Arthur and the real Mr. Ratburn, more like Arthur and the fake Mr. Ratburn. Oh my god, this episode of Arthur sucks. This episode of Arthur is about Mr. Ratburn eating screws. Teachers should never do that. Prunella tells Arthur and his friends about Mr. Ratburn, and Arthur and Buster found out that Mr. Ratburn is putting on a puppet show. When it's over, Mr. Ratburn tells Arthur and Buster about test tomorrow. Do you know who likes this episode of Arthur? Miles Tails Prower. Do you know who hates this episode of Arthur? Sonic the Hedgehog. He wishes he would never wanted to watch this episode of Arthur again. So screw Arthur and the real Mr. Ratburn. And so does D.W's very bad mood. Arthur makes a movie Fern and the secret of Moose Mountain, and Binky Goes Nuts are 100,000,000,000,000 times better than Arthur and the real Mr. Ratburn. End of rant.
6 sekund wystarczy, by powiedzieć, że nowe Oreo ma teraz jeszcze więcej kakao. Najsmaczniejsze Oreo ever.
The Backyardigans. No. More like the Shenanigans. Oh my god. This show sucks. This show is about the animals and they like to go on failure adventures together. Does it have anything to do besides going on failure adventures? No. It doesn't. Do you know who hates this show? Michael the Beyond guy. And it also had a video game. Wow, just wow. I am not getting that game. I would rather play Sonic games instead of this stuff. So screw the Backyardigans. SpongeBob SquarePants is a double times better than the Backyardigans. End of rant. Sid the Science Kid. No, more like Nick the Science Kid. Oh my god, this show sucks. This show is about Sid going on failure adventures, and he has a movie. Wow, Just wow. I am not watching this. Thank God it got cancelled in 2013. Do you know who hates this show? Michael the Vyond guy. So screw Sid the Science Kid. Nickelodeon's Doug is 100000000000000000000 times better than Sid the Science Kid. End of rant.